Hello and welcome to my little masterclass on dropping your first 5 kilos. How to tone up, build muscle, drop the body fat, feel stronger from the inside and out without restriction. I am Coach Sammy. I am the head coach of Project Live Strong, and I am a online coach, a personal trainer, physiotherapist, nutritionist, and actually a yoga teacher as well. So I have lots of many skill sets here, and my aim is to help you achieve your goals to live stronger inside and out, physically and mentally, without restriction, without doing hours of cardio, without hating the process. I want you to love your body, love yourself, have self confidence, and also you can look amazing as well and be stronger so that you can live a healthy, long, amazing life. So, this video is for you if you want to, drop those first 5 kilos, you really want to tone up, you want to take shape like all of these ladies that you can see on the slides here, and you're like, I have no idea how the fuck to do that. Well, this video is for you. I'm going to break it down and make it super duper simple and actionable. And you can, by following these steps, achieve results like some of my amazing clients have on the slide just here. So let's jump into it. The first thing I kind of want to talk about, a bit of mindset disclaimer, a bit of understanding about losing weight and also toning up and things like that, because there's a lot of misunderstandings around it. So, first of all, what does toning up actually mean? And so, it's not just about turning body, like you don't turn body fat into muscle, like that's not a thing. They are two completely separate processes that happen at the same time. Toning is another, just lack of a better word, of body recomposition. It is dropping body fat and building muscle. They are two completely separate things that happen in your body that gives the appearance that you've turned body fat into muscle, but they are two completely separate processes. But they create this tight, lean, sculpt look that you're aiming for. So, couple of mindset shifts that you need to have before you get into any dieting phase, before you start looking at the scales or anything like that. The first thing is the scale is not a result, like, does not equal your success. Okay, so we got to stop caring about the specific number on the scale. Like, we got to stop saying, oh, I'll be happy when I'm back at my goal weight of 60 kilos, or I'll be back at that weight again. Like, you need to throw that language in the bin right now, because you won't be happy when you reach a specific number. You will be happy when you're feeling toned, you're feeling strong, you're feeling confident, you're feeling energized, and you're proud of the hard work that you've put in. And you love the journey along the way, no matter the results. That's when you'll truly be happy. You need to enjoy the process and love yourself no matter what number that scale says. And then you can endeavor to progress and improve. They're two different things. And also, that dream body that you have isn't necessarily going to be that number that you have fixated in your head. It could be, but it might not be. Body recomposition really changes everything. Muscle is denser in size per kilogram. So 1 kilogram of body fat may take up this much space. 1 kilogram of muscle may take up this much space. It is more compact and it is denser. It still weighs the same, but it's a different composition. So, as we build muscle and drop body fat, sometimes the scale can say one thing and your photos will say something completely different. Looking strong and toned will be heavier on the scale than you think. The weight you end your diet at will not be the finished product. Once you add back in your calories, you come back to your maintenance, you bring carbohydrates back in, water, like all of this gets stored into your muscles. That gives those muscles that big, beautiful, full effect. Your weight may increase 1 to 2 kilos. So even if you're like, once I reach 60 kilos, I'll be happy. Well, newsflash, once you go back to maintenance calories, you're probably going to sit at 62 kilos just by increasing your carbohydrate intake alone, which you have to do. You have to eat at maintenance. You cannot live your life in a calorie deficit. So that is inevitable. And people freak out and think that they've ruined their diet because of that. And it's like, no, 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 that is all perfectly normal, exactly what should be happening at the end of your diet. But also, your goal weight is probably not the weight your dream body will be. Like, have a look at this photo here of Elise, and I've got some more coming up in the next slide. Elise is actually heavier on the right, but she is leaner, more toned, and has more muscle, feels more confident, has a better relationship with food, and is having a way better time in life on the right than on the left. And she is heavier on the right than on the left. So it just goes to show that it is not, the scale just means shit all. Like, Forget about what the scale says. We want to look at what it trends doing. Like, is it trending up? Is it trending down? It's giving us information, but your scale specific number, stop caring about it. It's going to ruin the journey for you. All right. Hopefully that helped. So, another question I commonly get, can you lose body fat and build muscle at the same time? And yes, you can. It's especially easier for you if you are new to lifting, if you're returning after time off or having an injury, if you're finally eating enough protein because you weren't before, and if you finally have a well structured training program because before your training program sucked. If you're already experienced, it's more efficient to alternate between phases. It's more efficient to focus on dropping body fat and then maintaining slash building a bit of muscle, but the focus is on dropping the body fat, and then build muscle in another phase whilst maintaining the current body fat composition as best as you can. A little bit here and there is normal, but that does work a little bit better. You do get more effective results when you can prioritize one over the other, but when you are a bit of a newbie, you can get some epic newbie gains and really build some muscle even while dieting. But it is more effective to focus on one than the other. So you can see, like me, I've gone through several cutting and building phases, bodybuilding preps, all that jazz. But you can see in this photo, these two photos here, I'm the exact same weight, and yet my glutes are way bigger on the right. My legs are denser, my hamstrings, my quads are bigger, my back is way bigger and thicker, and my delts, my shoulders are bigger as well. Like, just in general, I am more muscular on the right than on the left, but I'm the same body weight. Reggie, you can see here, we did a, this is like at the peak of her bulk, her building phase. We really pushed her calories up and we didn't mind too much about the body fat, but we still kept it pretty light. Like, we didn't put on much body fat. She looks very lean still. You can still see her abdominal muscles. She is very healthy. And then this is during her comp prep as we're doing the cutting phase. And you can still see her muscles are still looking super strong and she still built muscle along the way, but it's more effective to do one than the other. But for some people, they can also get amazing results doing both at the same time. Okay, so how do we do it? Enough chibba jab. How do we get, let's get into it. How do we do it? Okay, step one. First, we got to know your maintenance calories. You got to know where to get started at. If you have no idea what you've been doing with your calories, start by understanding what your maintenance calories are. And maintenance means maintain, meaning you're not going to add body fat. Stick to your maintenance calories. So first we need to understand your total daily energy expenditure, how much you need to eat just to maintain your body, aka your maintenance. Now that is comprised of your resting metabolic rate that takes up majority of your daily energy needs. That's just like, if you were in a coma or didn't get out of bed all day, that's how many calories you would need just to be alive and keep the body running, keep the engine on. Then we've got a small portion for the thermic effect of food. Depending on the type of foods that you eat, that can be a little bit more or a little bit less. And then the thermic effect of activity, which is combined non exercise energy expenditure, that takes up the next biggest portion of your daily energy needs and can also be the most influenced. How many steps you take per day, just generally in your day to day life. Do you have an active job? Do you have a sedentary job? Are you commuting by walking? Are you commuting by driving? Like, things like that can impact your non exercise energy expenditure. And then again, a very small portion, again, maybe 10 to 15% of your daily energy needs comes from exercise. Exercise has less of an impact than you realize. It's more about what you're doing day to day and your food intake. So as you can see in the picture down the bottom, when your food intake is equal to your total daily energy needs, this is your maintenance. So I have a calculator. You can pinch that URL that's on the screen there. It's going to give you an estimating starting point. The more accurate data you give the calculator, the more accurate the starting point's going to be as well. But it's just a starting point because maintenance is a window. Some days you're going to move a little more, some days you're going to move a little less. Your body's really good at adapting. If you go into a really big cardio session, your body's going to down regulate your activity for the rest of the day to try and keep you within that maintenance zone. So without conscious effort, you will naturally kind of sit in your maintenance zone. So once you work out a number to start at, it's not perfect. It's just like, hey, let's start here. Then track everything you eat and drink in MyFitnessPal and also track your weight, how your body changes for the first 1 to 2 weeks. See how things are progressing. If your weight is increasing consistently, not just like fluctuating here and there. If you notice that over that 2-week period there is a significant change, then this may be slightly above your maintenance calories. You may have overestimated. It's all good. Don't stress. It's not going to gain that much weight. If you're truly in your maintenance, it's not going to be that much. It's fine. If your weight is fluctuating, but it's like kind of roughly around the same sort of window during that 2-week period, then you're probably in your maintenance zone. And fluctuations are normal, especially as a female with hormonal changes that can come with it. If your weight is decreasing consistently, then you've undershot your maintenance and you're actually already in a calorie deficit a little bit. And so we want to bring your calories up to find your maintenance there. Spend at least 4 weeks at maintenance before you jump into this dieting phase. Really set yourself up for success. Build foundational habits first so that you're not trying to learn how to go to the gym, learn how to go walking, learn to drink your water, not trying to do all of the habits at once and be hungry in a calorie deficit. Nail the fundamentals first: water, meal prep, training, walking, sleep. Get all that down pat and then manipulate your calories because a calorie deficit is challenging and you want to have all the fundamentals down pat first. And I do that with my ladies. Often I'm just like, let's just get you consistent and then we'll worry about the deficit. All right. So, what the fuck is a calorie deficit? I keep talking about it. What is it? It's basically how you lose body fat. You need to burn more energy than you consume. So, if we look at these pictures here, like I said before, the red was the food and the blue is your total daily energy needs. When we eat a little bit less or we add a little bit more activity in, we create that gap. And you can see that gap that I've created where my finger is pointing in the photo. That is an energy gap or a calorie deficit. Your body needs to still fill that gap in. It's not just like that gap can just miraculously exist. Your body has to fill that gap in. And in order to do that, it is going to pull stored energy out of your muscles. It's going to break down your muscles, or it's going to pull from stored body fat, which like dietary fat, body fat, fat is just an energy source waiting to be used. It's like storing petrol in your car's tank. It's just stored energy. That's all that body fat is. So, your body's going to break it down through all the processes and utilize that for energy to fill that energy gap in. Now, I'm going to be talking more about this, but when you have high protein and when you do resistance training, then you're going to pull more energy from body fat and less from your muscle, which is exactly what we want. So that's why we prioritize those other factors into. If you're just doing it through a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight, but you're going to lose a lot of muscle, and the end result's going to be shit. So you need to make sure you're doing resistance training at the same time. So that is what a calorie deficit is. Sometimes visuals help. So we need to create your calorie deficit. Now, please do not just jump to 1200 calories because you heard that's what works or that's what I've always been told to do. That is bullshit. Do not do it. You need your custom calorie deficit calories. I wrote calories too many times in that sentence, but you need your custom calories to suit your needs. And we want to be actually dieting on as much food as we possibly can in order to get results because it's more sustainable, it's less impactful on your hormones, it's less impactful on your energy levels and your training performance. So we want to be in like we want the most minimal effective dose in order to lose body fat effectively. So, it takes 7,700 calories to to put on a kilo of body fat or drop a kilo of body fat. That's how much energy is stored in a kilo of body fat is 7,700 calories. So that equates to about 1,100 calories per day if you wanted to lose a kilo a day, which is disgusting and very unsustainable for most people. You think if your like maintenance calories is like 2,100 and then you drop 1,100, you're on 1,000 calories. Uh-uh. No, absolutely not. Do not do that. You'll last 2 minutes and then you'll just fuck your hormones up and your whole body and just hate your life. So don't even bother. So what do we do instead? We opt for a 500 calorie deficit for most people per day, which theoretically will set you up for a 500 gram loss per week. And it's okay to go slower than that. It's okay to not do such a big deficit. A deficit is a deficit, and you will lose weight eventually, even if it takes a bit longer. So, from your maintenance calories, because we've worked them out, we've been sitting there for about 2 to 4 weeks. We know what our maintenance calories are now. We drop 250 to 500 calories, depending on where you're sitting at. You could do 200 to 500. If you're at 2,500 calories maintenance, dropping 500 is easy. If you're at 2,000 calories, dropping 500 calories off the bat kind of hurts a little. You might start with 250. Then you can also add in 1,000 to 2,000 extra steps per day just to increase your energy expenditure, the non exercise energy expenditure. And you can also add in 1 to 2 cardio sessions per week, 20 to 30 minutes, steady state cardio, get the heart rate up. Um, it also is really great for cardiovascular health. But if it takes away from you being able to do weights training, do not add extra cardio and just focus on steps because your weights is more important than cardio. So then you track how your weight's fluctuating over the next couple of weeks. If it's stable and it's pretty the same, try dropping 100 more calories or adding in another 500 to 1,000 steps. One or the other, not both. Make one change at a time. If it is starting to trend down, keep going. Don't make any changes. All right, so how do we work out your macros? Next step. Macros, what are they? Your protein, carbs, and fat. They are categorization of the foods that we eat. All of them are essential, and we do not cut food groups out in here. If you want to cut out a food group, you can exit this video now because it's not for you. My program is not for you. Protein keeps you full, repairs your bodies, it's the building block of your body, your cells, your muscles. If you are a house, protein is the bricks. It tells your body, hey, don't break down this muscle. We need it. Break down the body fat. We don't need it. That's what high protein diets do. It stays consistent. Once you hit your protein target, you do not drop it down. If you need to lower your calories down, it comes from carbs and fat. You do not drop your protein. It stays the same. Space it evenly out throughout the day, every single day. Don't miss. Mostly whole foods. That's the goal. Dietary fats are important for energy needs, your health, hormones. Aim for no less than 20 to 25% of your daily calories. Usually ends up being about 35 to 40 grams minimum of dietary fats. Minimum. You can go higher, but no lower than 35 to 40 grams. Otherwise, you really will start feeling like shit. Carbohydrates, super important for energy, training performance, brain function, your sanity, and your gut health as well with fiber. We want to aim for at least 25 grams of fiber every single day, 200 grams of fruit, 3 to 500 grams of veggies every single day. Non negotiable. Just get it done. If you don't like your fruit and veg, grow up and find a way to fit it in. Sorry, brutal, but find a way to fit it in. Sneak it into your mints, sneak it into your food, hide it in there, blend it up, whatever. Just eat your fruit and veggies. Frozen veg, cooked veg, whatever. Salad bags, whatever works. Just get your fruit and veg in. 25 grams of fiber per day. Carbohydrates, there are no good or bad carbs. You can have any you can literally eat anything you want. If you really wanted to diet on ice cream and McDonald's, go for your life. You're not going to get to eat much. You're going to feel like shit, but you can do it. Mostly whole foods I do recommend, but please sprinkle in the fun foods. Do not cut out the chocolate. Do not cut out the dessert. Just make it, we're not restricting, we're just moderating. You know, this is the beauty of tracking your macros. If you know that every single night you want to have a little chocolate, a little cookie, and a hot chocolate, and you're like, I want that every single night, it keeps me sane. Then when you're tracking your macros, you chuck that straight in there. So you know it's allocated and it's going to fit within your day. Keep some of the fun stuff in. It's going to keep you sane and it's going to make you be able to be consistent. Then this is how you can determine the macros. You can pause it if this video to like have a look how to do it. I'm not going to really bore you through it, but basically aim for about 2.2 to 2.6 grams. So 2 to 3 grams of protein per kilo of body weight. If you have a lot more than 5 kilos to lose, like if you have like 25, 30 plus kilos to lose, go off your like rough goal weight. I know I said don't talk about goal weight, but say if you're like 100 kilos and your goal is to get to like 65 kilos, gauge your protein needs off about 65, 70 kilos, not off your 100 kilos, because it's just a redonkulous amount of protein otherwise. And you know what? A general rule of thumb for females, I find based on my ladies, 130 to 160 grams of protein is a pretty damn good starting point. And then you're going to work out how much of, so say you're going to have 150 grams of protein. There are 4 calories per 1 gram of protein and that's 600 calories. So now, say if you're like, cool, I'm going to have a 2000 calorie day, you minus 600 calories, then you've got 1400 calories left. That is how many calories you have left to spread between carbohydrates and fats. Like I said, we don't really want to go too low on dietary fats. So you could do like, you could split it down the middle. You could do 24, like whatever ratio, it doesn't matter. Calories and protein are what are important. Don't skimp on the fat, don't skimp on the fiber, but the rest doesn't really matter too much. But just be aware that there is 4 calories per 1 gram of carbohydrate and there are 9 calories per 1 gram of dietary fats. So if you wanted to do allocate 800 calories to carbs, you're going to have 200 grams of carbs. And if you wanted to allocate the remaining 600 calories to fats, then you're going to have 67 grams of fats. And so you can see, like, you can switch it around. You could have more carbs, less fat, more fat, less carbs, whatever. If you're training in the gym, have more carbs than fats, in my opinion. Like, even start with like between 50 60 grams of dietary fats. That's not a bad idea. And then the rest with carbs, because carbs fuel your workouts and they're fun. Okay, so that's your macros. Track it in MyFitnessPal, weigh it, don't use cup measurements. It's not tedious. It's only tedious when you're doing it because you're learning a new skill. Any new skill sucks. But you don't have to enjoy every part of the process. You just got to do it because it's the only way you're going to get effective, efficient results. So learn to track your food. It's not obsessive. Tracking your food is just a tool to make sure you're getting enough. You want to make sure you're eating enough protein, you're getting enough calories, you're not overly restricting. Tracking isn't restrictive, tracking is freeing. It's letting you go, cool, I want to eat this ice cream and I want to have that burger. I'm going to make sure it fits within my macros and then I'm still working towards my goals and I still get to enjoy myself. This is amazing. That is why tracking macros is amazing and not restrictive. The other component to dropping this 5 kilos and also, like, looking amazing at the same time, so you don't wanna end up skinny fat. So, we need to lift heavy and push for muscle growth. We don't wanna fluff around. Just because you're in a calorie deficit doesn't mean your training should look any different to if you're in a surplus or if you're in a maintenance. Whatever phase you're in, your training should always look the same with the same intensity. So train 3 to 5 days a week, push until you get to 1 to 3 reps from failure. Hit 10 to 20 challenging sets per muscle group per week and use a structured training split. You could do 3 full body days. You could go upper, lower, upper, lower. You could go upper, lower, full body if you want to do 5 days. If you want to bias your lower body, then maybe you do 3 lower, 2 upper. There's so many different ways you can break it down, but they're just some really basic examples. But please, please, please do not do a glute day, a shoulder day, an arm day, a leg day. It is ineffective and you will get very ineffective, not good results. Basically, you'll get shit results with it. If you want a good training program, message me, but don't just do like the bro body part split because it is a very, very ineffective way to build muscle, especially in a dieting phase, especially when you have a busy life. Because as soon as you miss one day, that's that whole muscle group not getting trained for 2 weeks now. So it's not an effective training split. The only thing I will say is avoid smashing the same muscle group 2 days in a row. Okay, so some common mistakes to avoid. Eating too little protein. If you're not seeing results in the gym, you're probably eating too little protein. 100 grams is for most people not enough. Your calorie deficit is too low. That is why you have no energy. That is why you keep binging at night. That is why you just feel like calorie deficits suck and you can't stick to it. Or you're just trying to do less portions, not less calories. Keep food volume high, drop the calories down. Skipping food groups, cutting out foods, overly restricting, anything that makes it feel really shit, don't do. Binge restrict cycle, where you 1,200 calories all week long and then you go 3,000 calories on the weekend. You will not get results. We need to find balance and something that you can stay consistent with throughout the week. Can we do calorie banking to help give you a bit of freedom? Maybe you can have a free meal on the weekend. Yeah, we can do different strategies like that. But going 1,200 calories all week to only eat 3,000 on the weekend is just ridiculous and frustrating and not good for your body or your digestion or any of that stuff or your mindset. None of that. We don't want to be relying on cardio. We want to do this through a calorie deficit, and cardio is a nice supplement. You're not tracking accurately, or you're not tracking anything, or you're just like, oh, it's too hard basket. Yeah, tracking is not like, yes, I have tips and tricks to make tracking easier. Yes. And use tracking as a tool to pre plan. Yes. But yeah, it still is annoying. Not everyone's going, I can't wait to go weigh my food today. Like, yeah, it is a bit of a pain in the ass. But what's worse is staying exactly where you are right now. So sometimes you just got to do the stuff that's a bit of a pain in the ass so you can actually get the results that you're looking for. If you don't have a structured training program, if you're going into the gym and you're completely winging it, you're already setting yourself up for failure. You need a structured training program that you can actually track your progress and incorporate progressive overload and make sure you're hitting all the muscle groups, all their different ranges super duper effectively to get a well rounded body shape and also prevent injuries as well. You're overtraining or you're doing junk volume or any of that sort of stuff, it's going to hinder your results. And then, like I mentioned before, oh, I have it twice. It's super important. Don't skip foods, don't cut out food groups, and don't overly restrict. I did it so important that I put it in twice by accident. So this is exactly what I do with my ladies in the Project Live Strong family, but way more in depth. This was a very brief overview of what coaching really looks like. And if you follow these steps, yeah, you probably will get some results. But where I come in is I'm a fabulous problem solver. There is not a problem that I cannot work through. And where there's a will, there is always a way. And I'm really good at that. And so the game plan is always unique to you. I've given you a very generic step by step guide right now, but it's not going to always work for you. Like, let's say, for example, Janaea, she's got the goal to get ready for her wedding. So we might be pushing a little bit harder because we've got a date in mind. And also, she doesn't have kids. She can cook for herself. She's got time. So she has a little bit more time. When we come over to the next beautiful lady here, she is a doctor working 24-hour, 48-hour shifts sometimes. Training is not always going to be perfect. We train from home. Some days she can make it, some days she can't because she's working 48 hours back to back shifts as a doctor in a hospital. Some days she gets called in for a double shift and she doesn't mean to, so she didn't have the food prepared. We have strategies around that. And she still got these amazing results with such a hectic, busy and stressful work situation. We just had to make the game plan custom to this beautiful lady. The next one over is FIFO. You think you're busy, try being a 24 to 48-hour shift worker and being a FIFO worker. These two ladies in the middle, that's both of them, and they both have got these amazing results because the game plan is custom. Like to Dion with the tattoos, it's custom to her to suit when she's at home and when she's away at work. And we've made strategies so she can balance it out based on what she needs during those two time periods. Maddie, next one over, she's a busy full-time working mum. She's an epic mum. She does so much for her son. She coaches his football team and everything in between. And yet she still made time for herself to get the job done. And look how amazing she looks. Completely transformed. And has a better relationship with food. She used to be the person who would eat 1,000 calories to try and lose weight. And I taught her that she can eat way more than that and still get amazing results. We've got another shift worker moving over. We've got another shift worker, a nurse doing night shifts, stress, sleep, all that jazz. No excuses. She gets it done. She's a boss. She's an absolute boss in the gym. Like, oh my God, you see the results. They speak for themselves. Karen down the bottom in the bikini and then the pink sports bra, she actually went through a huge weight loss phase. So we actually started with a reverse diet. We brought her calories up really high to her maintenance and pushed her maintenance as high as we could before dropping into the next dieting phase. And actually these photos are from when she started with me to right when we started her next dieting phase. So she looks better from eating more food. So it's a custom game plan. That's what I'm saying. It's a custom approach for you. Always a custom approach. And also, you don't have to eat boring ass chicken and lettuce. I mean, you can like me. I eat pretty boring. My ladies eat a lot better than I do because I don't like cooking. They do. And also some of them don't either, and they also use basic meals. That's totally fine. But you can see you can still eat the burgers and the bread and Biscoff and chocolate and like you don't have to eat boring ass food to get results. You can pause this screen if you want to read a little bit more about some of the things some of the ladies have said, some feedback, some like wins. But yeah, pause it if you want to have a read. If not, I'm just going to breeze on. I'm not going to make you like sit here, but you should pause it and read it. But, anyways, just so you get a little bit more of an idea that I'm not just talking shit. This is some of the things that some of the ladies say about what it's like working with me. I will say honest and real is definitely, definitely me. Filter, I'll be kind, but don't know how much my filter is. You'll see from this video, of course. Okay, so to end this masterclass off, what is next? So if you're like, Jesus, this is a lot. This just seems a bit overwhelming, and I just want some guidance and support, and you don't want to do it alone because no one wants to do this journey alone. It's more fun when you have other ladies to do it with, and you can share wins, and you have me in your pocket to cheer you on and to pull you in line when you're like, oh my God, things are not going right. And I'm like, yeah, they actually are. You're doing amazing. Keep going. Shush. Keep going. You're doing amazing. Or if you're like, oh my God, I fell off the track, fell off bandwagon. I'm like, no, you didn't. One thing didn't go quite right. That's all right. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to fix it. And you're just going to keep going and you're all good. If you want someone like that in your pocket to support you throughout the journey, one-on-one coaching with me, then jump back onto Instagram and message me. I'm ready and we can have a chat. I've also got a link in on my website, which is projectlivestrong.com, and you can submit an application form through there. That's also fine too. Or in my bio. Lots of options. Whatever floats your boat. But we can have a quick chat and see where you're at. Am I the right fit for you? Can I really help? No pressure, just clarity, just get a bit of an idea. If not, you got a free resource out of me. But let's just stop spinning your wheels. Stop saying, oh, I'll start. I want to do this. I want to lose weight, but I'm just doing all the research. It's like you're wasting your time. You're wasting time. You can pay in time or you can pay with money. And it's much more efficient and effective to just pay a professional to help you get there. Like you wouldn't try fixing a car without a mechanic. You wouldn't try to fix your plumbing without a plumber. So you certainly wouldn't try building a house without a builder. So it only makes sense that you hire a professional to help you build the body of your dreams and be confident and strong and toned and improve your relationship with food, like this is all my jam, you would pay a professional to do that if it was to do with building a house. So it only makes sense to hire a professional to help you on your own goals as well. But if not, hope you enjoyed this video and just come back to the chat and let me know one thing that you learned, what you're going to take away from this. And I'm excited to help you get results, whether it's through my content or you join my coaching program. Thanks for watching.